Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the next map making session. We have not done a map building session in quite some time. I don't think I've done one since I did the city of Parthana, which was probably, I don't even know, 4 or 5 months back. I have done other maps since then, but I've not live streamed any. We're going to be working on, pull it out of my notes here. We are currently, well, I am currently, I should say, not we. I am currently working on the Escape from Parthana module, which, if for those of you who watched the playtesting back in August, we did a playthrough with some of our community members and patrons. And one of the things they did was this dungeon, which was underneath the, I'm trying to remember the name of it now. The Fuwar Shipping Agency, that's what it was, and I was blanking there for a minute. However, I'm going to be taking this map and making this part of the overall, this is going to connect to the sewers. So there's going to be an additional sewer map. So if you've been reading the chapters, I think it was the most recent chapter was chapter 10 over on Patreon. This is the chapter where Thanon, Alfia, Halen, Firin, and Leanna actually escape from Parthana through the sewer tunnels leading out to the lone ship that's remaining at the underground docks from the Raven Syndicate. And those of you who are from EverQuest 2 will know that that's the name of our guild, so all of this ties together. So the sewers are going to have their own separate maps. Probably 3 levels of maps for the sewers is what I've got in my mind right now. I haven't done the layout for those yet, but I'll be working on those. But for now, we're going to be working on this map, which is underneath the Fuwar Shipping Agency. I have never done a cavern map in Inkarnate before. So previously I worked on the regional maps and the world map. So I've done a world map, I've done regional maps, but I've not done battleground maps yet, which use stamps, top-down stamps as opposed to 3D stamps. So this is going to be kind of a new experiment for me. So if you want to follow along, I'm not an expert in Inkarnate, but I'm okay at it. But I'm going to be learning some stuff as I go along here and hopefully getting better at doing this. So the first thing I have to figure out how to do is I have to take this image and I have to figure out how to, I got to get this to scale. That's the most important thing because there's a couple of things that have to happen. One, and I don't know if you guys can, let me double check on, you're probably not going to see this on the stream. Hey, Sparrow. Yes, you are. Spoiler alert. All right. So up here, I don't think you're going to see my icon on the stream. So let's go over here and I'll just show you. There have to be a couple of boats. So I might want to start with the boats first because that'll help me give scale to the cavern and the overall map that I have. Because if you look, I'm going to bring this up to the camera again so I can kind of show you in my cheap ass notebook. So this is the map that we're working on, and this up here, these are the 2 boats that the Fuwar Shipping Agency have, which the players had to fight for to get to. And then of course this is all all the caverns here, all this stuff. But because these have to be to the scale of the players, I probably need to start with these right here because that'll help me get the scale down, and from there I can start working on all this. Now, I could, well, my camera just did a weird thing. Oh, it's because I don't have my light on. There we go. Um, One of the things I could do, probably, I haven't done this before, but I probably could take a screenshot of this image and then put it into Inkarnate and use that as a guide, but I haven't done that before. Maybe I should have researched that before I started the stream. So I'm just going to be doing this the way that I know how to do it for this map, and also because that'll help me get used to the stamp tools for this cavern. And then as I get into the next maps, I might look into seeing how you can do, because I know you can upload your own images and stuff, but I haven't tried to do that kind of stuff yet. So let me get situated here. Let's see here. So if we want to use ships, I'm going to use placeholder ships for now. So we'll go into the stamp tool, we'll open up the catalog. If you've never used Inkarnate before, I'm not sponsored by them. It's just a really cool map making program. It is browser based. I have the pro version. It was really cheap. I want to say like 25 or 30 bucks for the whole year. The world map that you've seen for the Weave in the Void was done with this. The regional maps that you've seen us post screenshots of and used during the playtesting several months back, those were all done in Inkarnate. The Marin's Rest map that everybody got with the free download of the Adventurer's Tale point and click demo, that map was done in Inkarnate. So it's a pretty cool program. Let's see what we got for ships. Sailing ship composites. What other ones do we have? Hang on, I need to look at these here. Show. Okay. And this is a small sailing ship. So we'll probably say these are small sailing ships because this is meant to be an underground dock. And so we're gonna put these down there as placeholders for now. All right, so that's what that looks like at full scale, and we obviously need to reduce that way, way down. So let's bring that way down in size until I get something that looks closer to what I've got on my map. Something like that. And then we'll put another one there, at least for now. Okay, and then we'll zoom in here, get those aligned with the edge of the screen. That looks about good. It's close enough. All right. Now we're currently only working in 2K. I don't work in 4K because of the fact that it gets really laggy when you're trying to work in 4K. So I don't work in 4K. I work in the 2K mode. Hang on, I'm changing my plugs around here for my phone. When I'm ready to render the maps out in 8K, that's when I'll up it to 4K and do the 8K render. I know that sounds weird, but if you've been around as I previously streamed these sessions, you'll kind of understand what I mean by that. So what I mean by that is when we scroll in right now on 2K, they look a little fuzzy around the edges, and that's because we're working at a smaller resolution. Okay, I'm gonna pull this up on my phone so that I can actually see everybody's comments because I don't want to be tabbing out here. And this is the first stream I've done in a while, so I apologize if it's a little haphazard. I haven't streamed map making in quite some time. All right, now I should be able to see chat on my phone. Okay. All right, we got the maps. Let's see, we got those set, and now we need to do some sort of a dock scenario. So let's look here at docks. Okay, we've got some docks here. I'm gonna want to flip those. Well, how do I could just use them like this for now. And it's a little big currently. If I flip that like around like so. Move that back over here. That might be a little too big. But let's just see, and we'll paste. I might need to go into 4K just so I can get a better resolution to see these things not so. So it's a little too blurry. Hold on, let me save this real quick. Let's call this Fuar Shipping Agency Caverns. I'm gonna go ahead and reload this map at 4K. You'll see what I mean because it'll get a little boggy, but I want to be able to see this at a higher resolution so I can make sure that I've got all these aligned properly. Dun, 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 dun. So we're gonna back out to the other maps, and then we need to open at a 4K resolution. Yes, I understand it's experimental. And then we will reload that. Well, it shouldn't take too long to load because we haven't put too many assets on the map yet. I said that and it's taking forever. There we go. Okay, as you can see, I've got a much better resolution now on the assets. All right. So we want to actually move these over just a little bit so that we're overlapping the posts. This one needs to come over a little bit more. This one a little bit more. I think one more, one more. That doesn't look too bad. All right. So now we've got a section of 4. We're going to go ahead and copy all of those and paste. And do one more. Okay. Now that should be enough to get us to the interior of the dock. So we might want to put one more just for the sake of it. We can always bring it out if we want to in a little bit. Something like that. And then we will just copy that and paste it down here. And then we will move it accordingly. And of course, get our... I like using the edge of the screen to line things up. It does help when you're trying to do things that are symmetrical like this. Make sure that we've got that where we want. It's pretty close. It's not quite there. There we go. And we'll bring that up. Make sure that we're about the same distance from the boat. That looks pretty good in my mind. Looks good from my house. I mean, I could absolutely change the direction lengthwise. That's the default was lengthwise sparrow. But that's just because the way they have the alineation. I chose it to be a little bit differently because of the look of the grain on the boats. So just for a quick way to have it visually be different, but if I don't like it long term, it's a 3-minute fix to change the docks. Because if you look at the way the stamp originally comes out, it's that way. Sorry, because our alineation is that. So that would be what it looks like normally. But we have it different. Okay. Now I need like a ramp, a couple of ramps. I might not have ramps, but I bet I have some planks. There's a plank right there. That's a sewer plank, though. That might be a little too rickety. Dun, 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 dun. What about this one? It says table, but I bet I could use that as a ramp. This one too, but it's shamrock. It's got like moss on it. I'm surprised. What's this right here? Small ship railing pieces. Large, smooth ship walls. No, those are the actual walls, which I don't need. Because I'm not building a ship from scratch. Ooh, what about this? Rustic Nordic table? That might work for a plank. Actually, let's just try that and see what it looks like. It's a different color wood. Let's go ahead and spin it at a 90-degree angle. Probably need to shrink it down in size a little bit. put another one back over here. Something like that. All right, now this should give us a decent scale now. And what I can do from here is if I want to, I can flesh out a little bit of this cavern. Let's go ahead and save that. What's that, Chris? What? Oh, you're just sighing. Chris is working on Chapter 8 artwork right now. Okay, now I should have some stamps for beaches or something. We'll see here in a second. Oh, what are those? Terrain. What is this? Cliffs. Cave entrance. Okay. Azure waterfall. Waterfalls. Sharp rocks. Standing zones. Those might work for my interior walls. What about this? I don't really need cliffs at the moment. What I want... Got creeping fog. Water. Here's what I'm looking for, probably. Those are waves, so I may not want to do that. But I might. Let's look at this real quick. What do the sea waves look like? And these are ship waves. Okay, very groovy. Because I might be able to use these. Just scale them way up, though. They're not very visible at the moment because of the background I'm using. So if you place one, it looks something like that. Out of curiosity, because we might want to use that to define the sort of docks. Now these will go down one layer. So you notice what it's, if right now they're on top of the docks, but I want to put them under the docks, like that's the edge of the water. So we'll move them up to here. Okay. And let's do random stamps. Let's do the next one. And I can kind of adjust that in size. Perhaps do that to it. Nope, I didn't want to place you. Hold up. And take you. Perhaps something like this. Scale you down a little bit. And then one more down over in here. Go ahead and bring that over. Overlap it a little. I kind of want to put one more of that one right here because it's not quite. Give it a little bit of a different texture right there. Okay, that's a good starting point. Now we can go ahead and flesh out the rest of these waves. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Let's go and scale this up a little bit. Nope, that's the wrong one. I don't want to scale that one up. Because what I want to do here is we're going to be moving. Might need to use this right here as a bridge gap. Probably use the short one again. Yeah. Something like that. And then maybe this one. Sort of like the edge. Then goes out to the edge of the map here. That's probably what we'll do for now. I mean, that's one edge there. Okay. Then up here, we can switch that a little bit. And then we'll do one more small one. Out to the edge of the map, sort of like so. And we can maybe make that one a little bigger. Something like that. And I can always change these later on if I want to. Then, if I want to, let's go in here to colors, and I could paint. Let's see, what do I have here? I might not have all the textures that I want here. Yep, here's some. So this is going to be like a cavernous space lit from the outside. So it's probably going to have this bluish texture. Oops, I clicked the wrong one. Hold up. Let's try this one right here. I might not like the look of this, but we're going to try it and see. It doesn't look too bad for now. Let's go ahead and bring the size down for the edges. Yeah, I was just thinking I got Photoshop stuff that I probably should have done today too, but I didn't. All right, so I probably should save that. One of the tricks I've found is that when this starts getting a little bogged, um, you can just refresh the browser and it'll free it up a little bit. But we'll go ahead and save our progress for now. This is what I was saying. I usually work in the 2K, but because it doesn't bog down when you're doing 2K. And they even warn you if you're going to do it in 4K that it's an experimental feature and that it'll get kind of cranky with you. All right, let's see here. Probably, if I want to, I can drop the opacity down a little bit and maybe keep some of that dark brown there. Not dark brown, that dark gray. And we'll use that and probably put in some pebbles, some rock down in there to kind of give it a little bit of a pebbly beach look. We also want to make sure that it's very clear that the water here is much more shallow than it is everywhere else, so you can more easily see that rock floor. So this should be pretty good. I probably painted it a little bit too harsh over here. I can just come back in here and use the original texture like so, and kind of just give it a quick brush if I need to. All right, and again, this is first pass, so it doesn't have to be perfect on a first pass. All right, let's give it a little bit more here. That doesn't look too bad. That's a good starting point. Okay, where are we at next? We need to add some cavern walls, and this is where I'm going to be learning something new because we've got that section done now. So let's go in here, and I saw the cliffs that I wanted to use actually. Somewhere. I know they're down here. Saw you somewhere. The ruined walls. It wasn't the ruined walls. It's terrain. Stone walls. No, that was. Where was it? I probably need to look for it. Cliffs. I guess maybe it was. Oh, here they are right here. These ones. All right. Now this we got to get to scale. All right. I've got different sized cliff things here. Make sure that these are up on layer 1. And I might want to reduce the scale down. What does it look like when they're placed? We need to flip those around so that it's something like that. Let's check out the other ones because I might not want to use these because there's also the, I forget what they're called, walls? Because I know I saw some cavern walls when I was in here earlier. Terrain, dwarven, here they are, dungeons. These are a different color. I don't really care for the color, but I know they've got curved. Yeah, like that right there. And I can always kind of play around with the coloring on these later. But I'm looking at my map here, and we've kind of got at the bottom here. So that should be the interior, because that's what the players are going to see. Let's move this one out of the way for now. Go back to these. These will be fun to play around with. Okay, that might work. I gotta bring that size way down though. So Something like that. I still feel like the size might be too big. Let's play around with this. I've got it set to 30 right now. I probably ought to place one of each of these on the map so that I've got plenty to play around with. Bring that down to 30. Let's place, I've already got one of you, so hold on, let's place 1. Let's place a 2. Let's place a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, don't do randoms, a 7, an 8, a 9, a 10, 11, and a 12. All right, those are the ones I have of these stamps. So, looking at my map here, probably want something that kind of, hang on, you come over here. We can have that, yeah, I need it up like that. That might work. Check my scale. I think this will work for scale. We're at 30. This doesn't look too bad, so we can come over here and drop this. And then try this. Oh yeah, that's starting to come together. And then we can do that right there. Look at that. And then we don't need that to go quite. That's not too bad. Let's put this over here. It juts out a little bit over the waves. All right, so that's this cavern. That's that one wall. And we probably want to copy this, and we'll paste it down here. We're going to come down. Let's get that out of the way. Move that out of the way. Okay. And this is the tunnel entrance. So we're going to be coming in here. Double check my scale here. Might be a little big on scale. I'll know more as I play around with this. Okay. Something like that. So here's another thing I could do. Let's get a human figure in here. Human. Orc? I know there's stamps, but there might not be. It's probably in the fantasy regional. Yeah, I don't think there's any, because these are all top-down stamps. So I'm going to need to actually pull up the fantasy regional stuff and look up humanoid. Oh, it didn't load. Hold up. There we go. What? I could have sworn. What about elf? There we are. Elves. Am I herping and derping? I could have sworn there was some. I don't remember what they're called, though, is the problem. Let's turn off the battle maps for now. Or is it only showing me stamp sets? I don't remember where they're at. Beasts and monsters. So why aren't you showing me those? Oh, because I've got walls selected. I'm a noob. There we go. Humanoids. Turn off the other stuff. There we are. I knew I was herping and derping somehow. Alright, let's bring a human in here. And if they were to the size of the boat, that's a little too big. So put them on the ramp at 20. Yeah. So 20 ought to be... Okay, so that scale's going to work. Because this would mean we could have like 4 or 5 characters walking side by side. So that's actually a pretty wide tunnel. So that scale does work. And I need to remember that I can shrink it down if I need to. Okay. Maybe even bring that in a little bit tighter. And then we want to have this section pasted over here. I don't want to use that one quite yet. Let's go ahead and bring this cavern in like this. Something like this. And then we can do the turn, which opens up into the cavern proper. Let's do an outcropping over here. Why not? Maybe do 2 outcroppings. Put it down a layer so that it's underneath. Oh, that looks nice. Drop that one in a layer too. Oh yeah, that looks really cool. All right. Okay. And I need a slight curvature. Something like that. That's the wrong curve. Hold on. That's the curve I want. Down a little bit. And then it looks like we curve back up. Like so. Alright, I'm going to have to do some finagling here because that's not quite... That doesn't look too bad. Okay. Let's pull this entire rock section over here. And rotate it. Shrink it down a little bit. Maybe bring that one in a little. Alright. No, I don't want the whole thing. I just want these 3 rocks. Thank you. And let's drop those down. Bring those in a little bit. Okay, let's go ahead and save that. Yeah, the layers are really, really cool. And you can have, I think it's -5 and +5, so there's 11 in total. So if you go look at like the Marin's Rest map, there's the top layer is the labeling for all the buildings, and then the clouds are like those are at level 5, and then the clouds I think are level 4, and then birds are on level 4 and level 5 because some are, excuse me, 3 and 5, because some of the birds are below the clouds, some of the birds are above the clouds. And then where it really gets fun with the layering is when you're doing, I mean, I showed a little bit of that with the rocks here, because you can bring it up a layer and it looks a little bit different, but you can really do it when you're doing buildings, with like bushes around the edges of the buildings, and things like that. It'll really pop with that. And also, anytime you're doing shrubbery, trees, flowers, grass, you can really get detailed. Also with trees and the foliage, because you can do layers of like, oh, and you can change the lighting on layers. So like if you have like a on the stamps, I haven't done it in a while, but like if you take a you can take a dead tree, and then if you want to put foliage around it, you can put like your layer one is the like foliage at the bottom. So it's you put 3 or 4 pieces of foliage with the lighting very dim, and then you have the next layer up is slightly better lighting, and then the third layer has the best lighting, and so it adds this three layers of lighting to the tree, which gives it a lot of extra shadowing, um, which helps it. And of course, there's light sources in here, and you can adjust the light source, the angle of the light source. You can turn, like, as an example, I've got layer shadow on with this section, but you can change it to object shadow. You can actually turn the shadows completely off. Hang on, I went to the wrong one. Turn the shadows completely so it doesn't cast a shadow at all. I leave it layer on by default, and then individual stuff I'll tweak. I've still got a lot to learn with this program, but this is, it's pretty powerful from what I've seen so far. Um, so I think we're just gonna stick with the cavern. We're gonna stick with these ones because these give me a pretty. They have more. The other cliffs are cool. I like the color better, but these ones have, um, better options for different sizing and everything else. All right. So now this is going to go down a little bit and tighten up. So we'll probably just use one of these long sections and go like so. And maybe just take another one of these long sections from over here. Flip that so that it narrows a little bit there. And then it looks like we're going to curve down. That might be too much of a curve on that angle. Hold up. Probably want one of those little pieces. Where did it go? Let's go back to the stamps. I gotta find the teeny ones. It was one of these, wasn't it? Yep, that'll work. Where's the other tiny one? Yep, that'll work. Probably flip that around. All right. I'm looking at my map and I can tell my scale is way too big on these caverns. Tailspire. Yeah, I've looked into that, but we haven't. That's more of a 3D tabletop program, which if they can work out the kinks and add more assets to it, it's going to be a very powerful program because it'll combine map making like this with play sessions. Because like with Fantasy Ground, we're doing everything with 2D maps, right? And obviously there's line of sight and all these cool features that you can do with the maps there, but um, Tailspire could change all that, but it's still way too early on. And it's not accessible because they charge individual people. One of the reasons I like, say, Roll20, um, or say, these are two good examples. One of the reasons Roll20 is so accessible and it's the preferred route for most people is because it's cheap. Fantasy Grounds is also, in my mind, Fantasy Grounds is affordable if you're going to be doing it professionally, like we're doing. Because, I spent, let's say, I want to say I spent like 220 or $250 for Player's Handbook, Monster Manual, DM Guide, Lost Mine of Found Delver, and the unlimited license, which means everybody else can play for free, and I paid for all of that, and then everybody else can join me as long as I've got that. And then they have subscription options as well. And I looked at that and I said, $250 for something I'm going to be using for the next, foreseeable future, say 2-3 years minimum. I'm happy to make that investment because that comes out to something that's pocket change in terms of the monthly fee. Tailspire is much more expensive because they charge each individual person who's coming to the table. And so you really have to have a dedicated group of people who are going to say, you know what, it's worth the 40, 50, 60 bucks or whatever. Um, and not everyone is willing to make that commitment. And like I said, it's too early in the process. But my brother and I really are keeping an eye on it because if they can continue to add assets to it, it's going to really blow things up, I think, for the tabletop space. Let's go ahead and use these individual ones again. Flip this around. Let's go ahead and do that. And we can probably open this back up. Yeah, so this is going to be where I got to make a room. Let's get one of these tiny assets. All right, this is going to be where I got to make this open chamber. I need a slightly curving. It's not the right one. That's not either. Nope. Nah, these aren't going to work. That might work for the other side. Nope, I don't want to. I don't like that one. feel like I might just have to manually do this because the way the walls need to curve, I need it to be a little more gradual, not as abrupt. Okay. We've got 2 rooms from here. Let's have this be, that's another hallway. We can have that be the entrance. Okay, this needs to go down in here. Where is, what's this one? We can use that right there. And maybe drop that down. Yep, that looks pretty good. And we do want this one right here because we want to bring this back around. And we want a slightly longer one, like so, because this is that other tunnel out. Let's go ahead and use, oops. Okay. That's looking pretty good, I think. And this is going to be the stairs down, so we're going to put another chamber up over in here really quick. Probably need to move that. Okay, let's, where's this one? It's not the one I want. And then we need to build another cavern out here. That was the wrong piece. I could actually probably use this one as well. Okay. And then bring this. What? What was this here? This random piece sitting here in the middle of nowhere. Bring that in. This piece needs to come down a little bit more. Okay. Then we need an interior. This might work. It might not be. All right, now here's the tricky part, because this needs to enter into an actual structure. And I don't know how to do one of those yet. So I'm going to look at my assets and see what I've got. Because this needs to be an actual square-ish room where this is the storage room with the stairs up to the basement. So this actually needs to be, it's going to have probably cavern floor, but we need some sort of actual walls, not just cavern walls. So I don't know how I'm going to do that transition yet. Gonna have to look at some assets, see what we've got. And then down in the south, we've still got 3 more. And again, this map, by the way, is just a very basic. The one map I showed at the beginning, that's a very basic rough. So I may end up making more chambers off of this because we've got room. We got lots of room. Because I need to have a squarish room here, which goes up to the estate. Sorry, you're not probably able to see that. But then I've got this whole bottom half of the map that I can do stuff with. And I've only got, let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, this room. I've got 3 more chambers to do, but I think I'm going to add more. Make this a little more complex than the original draft. All right, what are we going to do here? Open catalog. I don't care about fantasy regional. Let's go back to fantasy battlegrounds. Okay, what are we looking for here? So drop down, see what we got. We got farmstead, camp, market, castle, ruins, terrain, dungeons. That's what I'm already using. Obsidian walls. That's interesting. So those are just things to place, though. Prison? It's got some walls. Hmm. Composite buildings? No, that's just going to be actual buildings. Tavern. This will probably give me walls. But are they going to be the walls that I want to use? Oh, and herp derp, there's that bar table. I totally could use that as the plank instead of the one I've got, or this one right here. Hold up, I'm getting sidetracked. I maybe want to replace the plank that I used. No, I'll leave the one with the metal um, on the boats. Um, Farmstead, camp. Ooh, you know what? That farmstead. What are these? Worn farm walls. Those might be exactly what I want to represent wattle and daub walls. That might work. Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat. They've also got these Tudor walls. Oops. Those might work. What are those under Tudor walls? Let's just do this. Let's turn everything on and look at walls. Parapet walls, sculptured walls, broken sculptured walls, catacomb. Ah, here we go. Excuse me, I might need to mute myself for that frog in my throat. We've also got some stone walls, catacomb walls. Let me look at these. No, those have skulls. I don't want to do skulls. Crypt walls. That looks stonish structure-y. Ruined walls. That might actually be the best. If we're talking about a stone block structure, we've also got dwarven stone walls, which aren't gonna. Oh, these are what I want right here. Yeah, I don't need to. Don't have to look any further. That's what I'm gonna use. We'll use this. And we just have to figure out how to sort of get this the way we want. I might not have wanted to use the curvature there. That might not be the right choice. Well, I mean, no one's gonna know from a technical standpoint what type of walls these are. All right, let's get a little creative here. You come over here. Stop being fussy. Probably drop that down a layer so it's underneath the rock like so. We can bring that in. I like the cornerstone option at each one of these locations, kind of like there's a capstone type thing coming in. Maybe bring this down. I want to flip that all the way around, actually. Doesn't look too bad. Okay, that's a good start to that. And then we basically want to have a big square thing. Hey, Gruntag. I can make this work. What do we got here? We got, oh yeah, big square walls. Okay, there's that. There's that. Let's drop these. There's this. We've already got a little bit of the other ones too. So let's create a basic. We've also got this. Ooh, that'll be kind of cool if I did like a. Ooh, hold on. Now I'm getting ideas in my head. Because this now I'm not going off the map. Now I'm like, ew, look at the cool things I can play with. Square room? Who needs a square room? Because don't forget, then we can get into placing the fireplaces and all the. Um, oh yeah, I'm gonna put this up here. We'll hold that for later. Meantime, we're gonna start with a square room. We need a capstone down here. Stop. Didn't want to adjust the size. Something like so, and then we're just going to put this off at a slight angle, which they're never going to see. It's just something for us. Let's go ahead and put that capstone right here as well. Flip it around a little bit though, so it's. Let's go ahead and have that come out. Oops. Don't resize. And let's go ahead and use, where's that other short one that I used? This one right here. Might be too long. No, that'll work. All right, let's pull one of these sections. Drop it down. It's good for now. All right, we're starting to get a better feel for this chamber. Get the whole map showed out there for folks who are tuning in just now. Let's go ahead and give that a save. What time is it? 7 o'clock. Yeah, we'll keep going a little bit more. This is actually a good thing that EverQuest 2 is down this afternoon because I should have been doing this anyway, but if EverQuest 2 was up, I totally would have been playing EverQuest 2. But I got to get maps done for the module, so it worked out in my favor. back over here. Let's go ahead and just replicate that. I should have left my elf on the floor here. Let me go back and find her because I'm gonna need scale for the stairs when I get to that point. Open catalog. She was down in the humanoids section. Cancel the walls. Come on. Scroll down. All right, you're not going to scroll for me. I'll have to do it manually. All right, let's just grab a humanoid. And I think we said I got her set at 30 right now. It might be too big. Yeah, 30 was too big. I think we dropped her down to 20. 15 actually looks pretty good. So let's leave one there. And we'll bring another one over here and drop her down on the ground for scale. Okay. That's all I need for scale right now. So if that's actually to scale, this chamber is way too big. I'm gonna have to bring this down in size a little bit. That's when it's important to have your little items for scale. I totally want to incorporate this in here somewhere. Have a nice. Let me just put it down here. We could totally do it right down here. I still feel like this is way too big. That might be an interesting way to, because I gotta have a. It's the storage room has to go down to the south as well. So we can bring this over here. And the reason I'm not building this square or at 90-degree angles is because this is built according to like the cavern walls, so they would have come in here and just dug out what they could. So I'm not worried too much about having this be perfect. Maybe use that instead of this. Stop. I shouldn't have placed 2 on the map. Move you. Something like that, maybe. And place this like so. Actually, why don't we bring that down here? That might look a little better. And Final Fantasy XIV. There are worse games to waste your time on. Oh yeah, we could totally use this. Can I bring this down? Let's flip that. It doesn't look too uniform. Flip it one more time, and then we can get back into stone walls, because this is going to lead down into the next section. So let's get some more cavern walls back in here. Although, if you want to be technical about it, what I might want to do is take all of these. Hold up. It's going to select. Nope, stop. Let's save this before I do what I'm about to do, in case I get any hiccups. Because I do want these to match the thickness of those other cavern walls for visual style, because right now they're too thin. So we're actually going to upscale everything. It sometimes freezes when I do this, so we're going to save first. Because it sometimes goes, what did you just do? You selected like 60 pieces and tried to upscale everything at once, and it doesn't like to render that on 4K. All right, and I don't want to upscale her, so what we'll do is we'll select all of those, also that and that, unselect her, right? I don't have her selected. All the stone walls are selected, nothing more. Oop, got one more I missed. Okay, now we're going to upscale these a little bit. And I'm going to have to move it down just slightly. Oh, it's going to tweak all my configuration. We'll have to do some slight adjustments. That's fine. That looks like we might be able to make that match up. Let's dun, 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 dun. Well, we might undo that. No, I gotta have it right size, so this will be fun. I gotta redo all this. You live and you learn. I should have done this from the beginning. I was thinking I could do the whole thing, but I forgot that it scales each individual piece. And so you then have to it's all good. Actually, I actually might want to mm, 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 mm. Have that like it was. I don't know that my idea to use the capstones is that great because they look kind of funky. Might not use it at all. Sorry, little elf. We need to move you. Put you over here. We'll figure this out. Resize everything. This will be plenty big. This might have been a good thing. Dun, 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 dun. Might be able to make this look cooler than it was. we totally can. And get rid of that one. Drop it down, bring it up. I think I like it there better. Something like that, and then we can get back into tunnels. And we'll just use those two pieces right there. I can make that work. I like that. All right. I think, how long are we going here? We've been going for an hour and a half. I think that's probably a good cutoff point for today. We've got about a third of the caverns mapped out. We've still got the bottom half of the map to go, but we've got the basic first draft here. We got the two boats. We got the small inlet. We got the storeroom that we just mapped out, which is going to have the stairs going up to the basement of the Fuwar Shipping Agency map. We've still got 3 chambers left on my original map. So for those of you who weren't here at the beginning, that's a rough map. Obviously, I'm not completely to scale on that, and I'm not completely following that because I'm freehanding it and just working with the assets that they have, so the angles of the caverns aren't going to be perfect or anything like that. But now that we've got this roughly done, getting the bottom half of the map made, that's probably one more session to do that. I'm usually about 10 to 12 hours on each one of the maps that I've done so far. That's about what it takes me. So hour and a half today, hour and a half next time. The I don't know, this will be a 10-hour map. We'll see. I've done a couple that have been like 3-hour maps. This will not be a 3-hour map because once I get all the taverns laid out, then I've got to do, like here in the storeroom, I got to go down at the scale level. Here's the humanoid. And so then I have to go in here and go, okay, we need stairs. So what kind of assets do I have for stairs? And I have to look to see what we've got. Do we not have any spiral stairs? Probably not. So we'll probably end up using rustic wooden stairs at this point. Ooh, we do have some like we have these as an example, but I got to bring those down to scale. So if that's her, if that's the human, probably needs to be something like that. And so we might be able to do something creative with the stairs. Don't know. Nope, didn't want to resize it. Hold on. Okay, this will be where I'm not an expert at this, but we could totally put something like this. We could do a 3/4 stair is what we can do. As an example, I'm just doing this because I'm randomly looking at things here. And if I want, I need probably have to adjust these to actually be at the correct angles. What was that other one? It looks like a, what's this? That's like a slightly lesser angle. So that would be if we're coming down and just doing something tweaky. So I mean, we could do something like this, which represents the stairway going up to the next level. Ah, you managed to get your Photoshop work done, Sparrow. Very nice. So looking at that, then we got to come in here. We got to place barrels. We got to place, you know, all the amenities of a storehouse down here. for their smuggled goods coming in from the ships over here. I probably need to widen these caverns a little bit because this is the, this is the safe route. But of course, um, there's this chamber right here, and you can't see my mouse. So I keep forgetting. I'm just gonna place something here. You're gonna this asset right here, this chamber right here in the middle with a big rock. That's like a midway station. There's guards there. And then if we go south, we get into like the dungeony part of these caverns where they don't go that much. And those are going to lead to the sewers. So that'll be like monsters and you know. Oh, you can see my cursor? Cool. For some reason on OBS I can't see it. Probably because I have something turned off. I'm not actually checking the actual Twitch stream. So that'll be good. So food for thought. So, but at least I know what I need to do next time. So, all right, that's going to be it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to go ahead and save this here real quick. And I don't know when I'll be back. I don't have a schedule for these sessions. This was me literally going, hey, EQ2's down. I need to work on this map. And if I don't do it today, normally I would do this on like Saturday or Sunday. So now I've got this chunk of it done today. We should be back here for those who are interested in about an hour and a half, probably. Sometime between 8:30 and 9, we're doing our weekly stand-up. So if anybody wants to come hang out for that, those are usually 15, 20 minutes long. That'll be Chris, myself, my brother, doing our weekly, hey, this is what we did this week and what we're working on next week. And if my brother and I are playing Star Wars: The Old Republic tonight, I might stream that, but that'll be on my personal YouTube channel, and I'll drop a link to that in Discord. Don't forget, everybody, if you're following along this Twitch channel, Sunday night we're going to be doing round 2 of the tabletop session for the Lost Mine of Phandelver. The YouTube version of session 1 dropped today over on the YouTube channel. I did finally adjust the Twitch channel about section and added links to the Patreon, the Discord, and some other stuff, so you can check that out here on Twitch now. Thanks to all the folks who are new subscribers. We're up to 40, not subscribers, followers. I always forget that they're not subs here. We're up to 40 followers. We got 10 more to go, and we'll get affiliate status, at which point we might actually get some subscribers. So we're getting close. So thanks for following along. If you're watching this after the fact over on YouTube, don't forget to, yes, subscribe there, follow along, hit the bell icon to get updates for future content, and check all the links in the description text below to join our Discord and follow along at social media and all the other places. Thanks so much to everybody. We will see you next time whenever I decide to do another stream like this. I'll probably be doing one a week at least, because I got to get, like I said, I've got to get the this map done, and I've got 2, if not 3, sewer maps. So I've got a chunk of work to be done on the maps. But all the other maps I did for the Escape from Parthana module, I did those way early on in like March, April, and May. So like Marin's Rest, the Parthana city map, um, the Dwarven section, the docks, all those maps have been done for a long time. So now it's just the underground stuff, and these will be the only maps. I think these are the only maps I have left to do for the module itself. So once these maps are done, I'll be completely done with maps for the module. And I'm hoping to have everything in rough draft format by the end of the holidays, so that when I get to January, it's just polished at that point and adding character art from an unknown source, probably on Fiverr. Get some artists there. Anyway, thanks, folks. See you later. Good night, Sparrow, everybody else, unless I see you later on the other stuff we're doing. Peace.